Why is credit history important? Your Canadian credit history tells the story of your financial life. It is comprised of all the financial decisions and mistakes you have made since the first day you started using credit. If you want to borrow money in Canada from a bank or an institutional lender, then you need a Canadian credit history. Nowadays, it is even asked by many landlords for a secured rental term of a living space. Yes, and this might be a problem when you go to get a space for rent, a living space for rent. The landlords actually ask for a credit history. Either you have to give several documents with your credit history, with your employment records and other documents like that, or you have to give a hefty amount as a security money, which means a amount of around 6 months rent for as security money, which might be a really hefty amount for many people. So how you can avoid that, I'll tell you in this video. Now the question arises about the credit history from your home country. Of course, you're new to Canada, so you don't have a credit history over there, but some people might think that Canadian agencies can inquire about the credit history from their home country, but it is not the case. If you're, let's suppose you're living in India and you have a good credit score over here, it doesn't matter in Canada. You have to rebuild your Canadian credit history from the scratch. So let me make it very clear that your Indian credit score, it might be very good, might be like 800 or something like that, but it doesn't matter in Canada. You have to build your credit history from scratch. Then only you'll be able to get good loans and maybe some discounts also, owing to your good credit history. Okay, so how can you build a credit history? First of all, you have to get a credit card. Now there are so many banks, almost all the top 5 banks actually offer credit cards. Initially they might be offering a secured credit card, but they also offer unsecured credit cards as well. So you have to make sure that you use your credit card. Obviously you have to get the credit card, but you have to make sure that you use the credit card to create the credit history. Make purchases with the card, but pay your bills in full and on time. So these are the tips that I'm going to tell you about the credit card. Almost everywhere you'll find a card swiping machine, so make sure that you use your credit card instead of your debit card or cash. So the more transactions you make, the more money you spend on credit cards, the more credit history you'll actually build. So this is very important to use your credit card, and just getting a credit card doesn't mean you'll build a credit history, but you have to make sure that you pay the bills in full and on time. Don't miss the timeline for paying the credit card bill. Okay, be aware of the interest rate charges. If you do not pay the balance in full each month, do not go over the credit card limit. Of course, using credit card sometimes we go over the budget. Please make sure that you don't cross your budget and you are spending in line with your budget. You're able to pay that amount after 45 days or whatever. The If you cannot pay the full balance on your credit card, at least pay the minimum balance and make regular payments with the goal of paying off debts as quickly as possible. So this is the third point. It is also very important that if there's some urgency and you're not able to pay your credit card amount in full, at least you should pay the minimum credit card. I think something it's like 10% or maybe it might differ, but you should definitely be able to pay the minimum balance and try to pay the rest of the amount as soon as possible, because I'm sure you must be aware that the charges on the credit card, the interest rates are very high, like 20%, maybe 25%. So make sure that it's not giving you a hit on your budget. So please make sure to pay the debts as early as possible. Also, do not apply for credit too often, since too many credit cards can hurt your credit rating. So please make sure that you don't, if you actually get too many credit cards and you ask for, cancellation of the credit cards, it actually hits your credit rating. So please make sure that you actually don't get too many credit cards. Yes, a couple of credit cards, two or three credit cards, that's fine. But someone might think that I'll get to five or six credit cards, and it will increase the pace of my credit history. But if you actually go on to request the cancellation of a credit card, it will actually hurt your credit history. So please make sure you don't get too many credit cards. Okay, second option. uh, Not the second option, actually. This is the second point. You should get a postpaid mobile with a SIM card. Now there are many actually the network providers who do actually provide the mobiles with the SIM cards, with the postpaid plans, and also the prepaid plans. Please make sure that you get the postpaid plans. It actually helps in building the credit history. And obviously you have to make sure that you pay bills on time. Do not miss paying the bill on time, because that will actually hurt your credit history again. What you can do is you can make a standing order on your credit card, so that will actually help you with the purpose of using your credit card, and also it will help you paying the bill on time. Okay, get a mortgage or a car loan. This should be something, once you have built up your credit history quite a bit. So this would be the third step. So you can get a mortgage, a small mortgage even, or a car loan. So when you get a car, please make sure you actually pay most of the amount, but some amount actually should. You can get a car loan, and it will actually help up in building up your credit history. But of course you should make sure that you repay it on time. So you can get a small mortgage, or a small car loan, and if you pay it on time, it will do wonders to your credit history. So of course a credit history will build up only after you get credit from the bank or the financial institutions. So you have to make sure that somehow or the other you actually build up your credit history, so that it will be easier for you to get bigger mortgages or maybe a home loan. So when you actually get a small mortgage, or maybe something around 5,000 Canadian dollars, that's a very small one, but it will actually help your building up your credit history. So guys, these are the tips which can help you, in building up your credit history, and help you in a later stage in getting a home loan or even any bigger mortgages. So thanks for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful for you. Please like and share this video, and also subscribe if you haven't subscribed my channel yet.